Hey everyone, this is Tiger Wolf Productions. Welcome back to the show. And I am doing my second versus video review. Because the first one, because the first one was just so very fun. I thought I'd go ahead and do another one. And this time, rather than having a look at two of lost my train of thought. Lose my train of thought already. Rather than looking at two different versions of the same character, we're looking at two different versions of the same mold. These are, well, this is Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom, Vertebrae, and Dracodon. As you can tell, there's not much difference between the two, aside from the color scheme. So, yeah, both are pretty good in their own right, but only really one can win. And we're going to determine who the victor is right here, right now. Okay, so this is Vertebrae. These are totally new characters. I don't know much about them, so it doesn't exactly help that Hasbro did not provide a bio for either one of them. But I personally like to think they're siblings, although not siblings in arms. We'll get to that later. So here's Vertebrae. She's a female Transformer. That's one thing. Always need more of those. And her beast mode is a fossilized Dracorex skeleton. If you're wondering what a Dracorex is, it's a pachycephalosaur, meaning it's related to such dinosaurs as Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch. Yeah. It's called Dracorex because the skull looks like a dragon. Yeah. As you can see, Vertebrae has a very dark brown color scheme with kind of this mocha color. Looks very nice. And Dracodon has a neon green color. He's meant to look very radioactive, like a radioactive dino ghost. Which reminds me of a Scooby-Doo villain, funny enough, considering, well, we'll get to that later. Starting with Vertebrae here because she came out first. She looks very nice in her fossil mode. There is all kinds of detail. There's cracks up here on the ribs. Some more cracks here on the bones. You can't really see it, though, because of her darker color scheme. Excuse me. That's kind of where he's going to get the advantage, I think. You can see scaling detail here. Detail on the head is really nice. Spikes back here. Poseability. Her jaw opens. Her arms are vestigial. Oh, yeah. Her neck can look way up, so you can get her in all kinds of shrieking poses, like, you know, the one I had her in earlier, where she's kind of looking up at him. Legs are flexible, ball joint hips, hinge knees, ball joint ankles. Yeah, so the posability is pretty good, at least. Yeah, so she is a very nice little fossilized dinosaur. Yeah, she has kind of a mud looking color scheme, like actually she kind of looks like she was found in the La Brea tar pits, if I'm honest, which could give her a very interesting look. There's her beak there. Yeah, she's a very nice little dinosaur fossil. Moving on to Dracodon. Dracodon is actually a male character. He's got a much brighter color scheme, so a lot of the detail is going to be a lot easier to pick out. You can kind of see the cracks and crevices in his back there. Yeah. And he has this gold color, this very nice gold color on his head and his toes, so I guess he got his nails did. The chance of them falling over is not likely because they have these heels back here, and they're quite huge too. Oh, you can also turn their tails if you want, but yeah, but for the most part, he has the same articulation. His jaw is a lot looser than hers. See, he's got black in the eye socket. Yeah, so maybe if you're into more eye-catching color schemes, maybe Dracodon here is going to be, maybe he's going to be your best bet. Because his color scheme is a lot more eye-catching and a lot more bright and outlandish. And me personally, I've always been into more bright, outlandish color schemes, like, well, a neon green dinosaur skeleton, or, you know, a blue hedgehog. Okay. You can see his back isn't quite as neatly compact as Vertebrae's. That's because he kind of has a couple warped ribs here. I don't know if that's universal. It's probably not. It's probably just mine, but I don't know. The quality on Dracodon, I don't know. It's just kind of slightly worse than Vertebrae's. Not by much, though. Not really much. Not really by much to really affect him. Yeah, so his color scheme is a lot more vibrant and a lot more eye-catching. So, yeah, especially with this gold here. And again, it's a lot easier to make out the details on him because his color scheme isn't as dark as hers. You can see there is a bit of an undercarriage problem. You can see the arms and kind of the head here, but the head's turned around, so I think it blends in well. Yeah, so those are the Dracorex modes. Really, I think Dracodon looks a lot more eye-catching. Again, his color scheme is a lot more vibrant and bright and, you know, out there. Vertebrae is nice too, but she kind of pales in comparison to this guy. Okay, so transformation, I think. Yeah. First, what you want to do is pop the tail off. Starting with Dracodon here, because for Vertebrae, I like to sauce it up a little bit. Straighten the legs. He does have the same legs as in Dino mode. Flip out the arms like that. I really like this little detail here with the arms. Reminds me of Dinobot or Grimlock. You can see there are little pegs in here. I'm going to unpeg those. Oh, sorry about that. The arms are a bit finicky at first. I recommend when you're transforming him, you have the arms positioned like this, because if you have them positioned like that, they're easier to pop off. So, and again, it's a bit finicky at first, but eventually if you do it enough, you'll kind of loosen things up a bit. Ooh, I don't like the way that feels. His jaw feels too loose, and this right here feels a little too tight. Anyway, I'm going to take this whole section and rotate it upwards. Close that. You can see the dino head becomes the most terrifying groin I've probably ever seen. He has a very nice head. I like that head quite a bit. It's kind of a knight-looking head. So I guess he's a dragon and a knight. And if you can see, there is the Maximal logo. So he's a Maximal. He's one of the good guys. Which is why I found it so funny. He reminds me of a Scooby-Doo villain. For his tail weapon, this happened a lot in Beast Wars. And Beast Machines, the tail coming off and becoming a weapon. It's kind of trademark. They do give you a storage option for the weapon, but for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. You're supposed to be able to put the tail in these little grooves back here in the, well, you get kind of that effect, but for the life of me, I cannot figure it out. That's not a problem with the figure, it's just a problem with me, I think. I prefer to just put it in his hand. Yeah. That looked better, I think. Yeah, and as you can see, his robot mode is very nice. I like the gold here on the chest. I like the gold on the face as well. Really picks out. I like how you got gold here in between the... Yeah. I like the blue optics too. Really fits him. And again, I like this detail here. Again, reminds me very much of Dinobot. He's also got these hinges here, very much like Rat Trap. Again, standing him up is not a problem. Moving on to Vertebrae. For Vertebrae, I actually like to leave her tail on. You'll see why I do that shortly. Straighten the legs, flip out the arms. Again, make sure you have the arms positioned this way so it's less easy to pop them off. And then I also like to bend her elbows and knees a little bit. To give her more of a feral feel. Because, as you can see, if you look at her chest, there's the Predacon logo. So she is a Predacon. And again, I do like that head. It's very nice. I like the silver. It's a nice contrast to the gold here on Dracodon. Yeah, her head is painted that mocha color again, and so is her chest piece. And she has red optics, which again is a nice contrast to the blue. She does have much the same detail as Dracodon. It's mostly the same in robot mode, but the only real difference is the robot head and the chest here. Yeah. Yeah, very nice indeed. Again, I like to leave her tail on. I think it creates a very nice feral look for her. Kind of reminds me of Transmetal 2 Dinobot. There's her hands there. They're kind of clawed, so I guess you could say, like, she has claws, I guess, if you want to. But yeah, you can take this out and let's do this, actually. You can take that out and give it to her as a, some kind of stabby weapon. But again, I prefer to leave her tail in. To kind of help differentiate the two a little more. Once again, Dracodon just really pops more to me. Again, I like the silver on the chest here and the gold here. Again, it's a really nice contrast. They are small little figures. They're only core class. So, well, here's vintage Rat Trap Beast Mode. Kind of give you an idea. So they're both very nice, but really, there can only be one winner, can't there? And I would say that that winner would have to be Dracodon. Because, like, we're doing a war between, not a war, what am I saying? We're comparing repaints here, and, well, you know, Dracodon's color scheme just pops a lot more to me, like, and you can easily make out more of his details, like, you know, here on the arms. So I guess that's a new detail too. Yeah, with him, it's just a lot easier to make out all the detail. So, and again, his color scheme just pops a whole lot more. So I would say if you had to get one of them, go for Dracodon. But really, they're both good in their own right. And if you can find them, definitely do pick them up.